Hello and welcome to the Lagos Transportation Agenda. Today we are reaching you from the campus of the University of Lagos in Akoka, where the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE, Lagos State Chapter, held a one-day public lecture, award ceremony, and induction ceremony on the issue of transportation, under the theme Transportation as a Fulcrum for National Prosperity. The focus on railway is very apt, considering the developments that are taking place right now in that particular ecosystem, both at the federal and the Lagos State level. The future of rail in Nigeria was a topic of discussion among the stakeholders that came to deliberate on the challenges and opportunities affecting the rail sector in Nigeria.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through LAMATA has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road intervention to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Akoka to CMS coming on board soon, life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and LAMATA is driving it. LAMATA, keeping Lagos moving.
Welcoming delegates and guests to the public lecture, award ceremony, and induction of new members. The NSC chairman and Lagos State chairman of the NSC, Engineer Adekunle Bello, lamented the long neglect of the rail system, but rejoiced in the fact that the system is making a very strong comeback with critical input and investment from key stakeholders on both the public and the private sectors. He called on delegates to chart out ways in their deliberations for the growth of the sector on both the national and the state levels. He also lauded the removal of the sector and its operations from the exclusive list of the national legislation to the concurrent list, and predicted that that will bring a sea change in the sector going forward, as new investments and participation by both local and foreign partners will see a revolution, basically, in the sector.
It is a great pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful occasion, the annual public lecture award and induction ceremony of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Lagos branch. Public lecture. The theme for the public lecture is tagged Railway as a Fulcrum of Nigerian Prosperity. Railway transport system is often regarded as a wheel of economic activities because of the crucial role it plays in creating alternative and cheaper means of transport, reducing pressure on the road as well as money spent annually on road maintenance, and also add to the GDP of the nation. Recently, the Lagos State government, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, flagged off the commercial operation of the first phase of Blue Line Rail in the state. The Blue Line Rail will move from Marina to Mile 2 as the first phase, will transport about 250 passengers daily when it's fully operated. There is no doubt that this will stimulate inter-trade and commerce, and also promote other economic activities in and around Lagos State.
The keynote address at this event was delivered by the Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation, Engineer Hafiz Toriola, who was represented by one of the directors in the ministry, Engineer Olasukomi Ojowuro.
We all know the importance of railway in Nigeria or everywhere in the world. It's a catalyst for development because with transportation, when transportation is effective, it's efficient, when it's seamless, it moves the economy. So for countries who have understood this, they have done a lot to ensure that the movement of people, raw materials and items from point of origin to destination using coaches and wagons on a fixed track on 2 metal frames, or on steel or concrete crossbars known as sleepers and rested on enormous heap of ballast loads on a track formation called track bed. That is just the definition of what rail transport is all about. And it is efficient for the movement of people, goods, and services. The blue rate for Lagos is running supposed to run from Marina to Akoka. But the first phase has commenced, and that is Marina to Mile 2. Whereas the red rail will be moving from Yaba to Alabado, and that's about 90% completion now. Prior to the year 2023, the situation in Nigeria was that railway regulations was in the exclusive list. That is, it was just the federal government that could relate to matters or give directives on issues relating to railway according to the Railway Act 1954 or thereabout. But in 2023, there was a shift, and the federal government pronounced that it also should be it should move to the concurrent list. It means that other arms of government also could regulate, manage, and service the railway in Nigeria. And the objective for this amendment is to promote regional and national growth and development, which will empower the federating states, that is, the states that make up the federal government and the FCT, to legislate on issues bordering on the revitalization of railways in Nigeria. And this has opened the way for alternative means of transportation to be developed in Nigeria. Of course, this will improve the economy. My other here has spoken about the positive impact of railway when it comes to GDP. It reduces environmental pollution because, of course, there will be less traffic on the way if our railway is very efficient and we have as many rail lines as possible. It means that people will shift from road transport to rail. It will also reduce the over-dependency on road transportation. Over-dependency on road transportation has cost us a lot. Now, that's said it before, because of maintenance, because when the road is flogged and flooded, they need to repair. And besides, it doesn't give an option, and it does not promote, intermodality of transport system. In conclusion, on this note, it is important to appreciate the organizers of this event and use this opportunity to express the commitment of the Lagos State government in driving radical growth and investment for the rail sector as well as the other sub-sector of the transportation industry. The government strongly believes that transportation is a bedrock of development, hence its focus is on the critical infrastructures that will stimulate and enhance development as well as the quality of lives of individuals. In view of the foregoing, the state government and in particular the Ministry of Transportation is open to partnership and collaboration in all areas of transportation portfolio, especially with regards to investment, operations, and human capital development. On this note, I want to welcome us to the 2023 Annual Public Lecture Award and Induction Ceremony Annual General Meeting of the NSC Lagos Branch and wish us happy evolution. Engineer H. to your Excellency, happy evolution.
Wow.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through Lamata has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road intervention to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Akoka to CMS coming on board soon, life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and Lamata is driving it. Lamata, keeping Lagos moving.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is the Lagos Transportation Agenda, the annual public lecture of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Lagos State Chapter. Also featured an award ceremony as well as induction of new members. Afterwards, a number of respondents spoke to LTA concerning the issues that were discussed at the event and the way forward for an industry that is replete with opportunities as well as challenges going forward.
Are you willing and ready to be administered with the oath of induction of the society and be formally admitted as a member?
Yes, I'm willing and ready.
It stems from the transportation agenda of the Lagos State government in relation to the recently announced removal of railway service from the exclusive list. I think we can save our infrastructure if we develop the rail system adequately, so as that will serve as a catalyst for the prosperity of this our country. That is just the brain behind it. The government should enact a policy that will take into cognizance the role of the private sector. Government alone cannot do infrastructural development. The private sector must be the fulcrum of the development. You can see recently the Minister of Works, Federal Minister of Works, is now proposing not a PP arrangement now, a private initiatives for the construction of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road that will encompasses both road, rail systems and the waterways. We should imbibe the culture of multimodal transportational system. That is the best things we can do.
We have developed what we call track access framework that will make it easier for those states that are lucky to have the rail. We need it to be used, and that's one way of preventing vandalization. Because if we run the one-state train that we run from Lagos to Kano, it's not enough. The track has to be used at least very frequent. That will, those who have bad minds will not think why, since it's serving the purpose it's made for. So we are trying to preach that. We have Plateau, we have Kaduna, we have Osun, and some other states in the east are also trying to key in. So it's easy. We are ready to make the track available, as we did for Lagos on the red line, to other people.
My expectations for engineers is that there are several opportunities for engineers in this dispensation in the development of Nigeria. if you look at the railway system, the transportation system in Nigeria, Lagos State is the pace setter in terms of transportation system, in terms of the waterways, in terms of the airspace, in terms of the railway, and different aspects of the transportation system. It's now airtime for engineers. Engineering is about problem solving. Engineering is about nation building. And if you look at all the spaces in the transportation space, you find out that it's mostly for engineers to be able to take up that space, look at how they can design more systems, how they can improve on the systems, how they can maintain the systems, and also the supply chain of materials and parts of the rail system. So it's a call time for engineers. It's a good time for engineers. One of the things that is very, very prominent is in two dimensions. One, in order not to encourage the expatriates to continue to stay in the country, the engineers need to up their game also. We need to be able to enter the space of that expertise that is being required by us, and we need to compete favorably with other organizations within and outside the country in terms of the expertise that we actually need. And we are currently doing advocacy on that to ensure that government is able to see that the Nigerian engineers are competent in that space. One of the things that is very required of us, and we are also working on, is to give some services to the government pro bono. Give ideas, give the research and development of the engineering bodies to be able to say, oh, we are able to contribute so and so into the space of transportation, into the space of railway, airspace, and also the waterways. Take, for instance, the Nigerian Railway. Most of the projects are PPP projects. The Lamata projects are PPP projects that we have, foreign companies coming into play in the maintenance of some of these things and in the establishment and installation on some of the equipment that are. So most of the projects are ideas that are being supervised by Nigerian engineers, and I must commend the Lagos State government because most of the projects are being supervised by Nigerian engineers. Nigerian engineers are the ones occupying the spaces of the managing director of DGGM or most of this organization that has to do with transportation, that has to do with engineering. So I want to continue to commend the government to continue to involve engineers in some of those things that we are doing as professional bodies, and we'll continue to give our best for the upliftment of Nigeria. When it's moving is engineering, when it's development is engineering. Thank you very much.
As the topic says, Fulcrum. To me, Fulcrum is like a support. Now we did those elementary physics. That means with railway and a good support from the government, Nigeria is going to have a very good, prosperous, and well-developed areas. All we need to do now is to sectionalize it. Somebody said something that we have to maybe regionalize it here and there, but sectionalize it from one part of the country to another part for now.
Particularly, I'd like to thank Lagos State government for keeping hope alive with the renewal of the rail system, particularly in Lagos State. I must say, for us that are professionals in the field, we expect government not to relent on their effort, because this is the only railway system, is the only transportation system that can solve 90% of communal transportation from one place to the other. In particular, I will expect that Lagos government will fast track not only the red line that is upcoming, but they should also ensure the haulage system on the train is given priority. That is the only way the road system being constructed can be durable.
The political will is what is required for this development to continue. Luckily enough, we have that the previous administration was also interested, and the same party also continued. So it therefore means that there is continuity, so to say. Then talking about the synergy between the Lagos State and the Nigerian Railway, I think it's been a very good relationship, and we want to say railway on its own is also very accommodating, because we have a section of the line that they are going to also be using as part of their operations. That's the red line, as it were. The blue line is already operational. With this conference, I think it is an eye-opener, so to say, because by the presentation, there are so many highlights of the presentation that people have picked and areas, they also see areas they can key into the program. And as such, I want to believe that this particular program has been able to open up railway. Because being a household name now, because there's virtually nothing you will say, you not start talking about railway. When you talk about railway, people are excited now. And as such, with this type of program, they know areas they can now come around to say, oh, the railway, based on that your presentation you make last time, oh, we have come. What can we do, or which area? Because aside from maybe issue of maybe operations, there are other areas. You see, we're talking about local content, even in our own maintenance. Talking about the tools and spare parts, there are some parts that can locally be fabricated here, which individuals can take opportunity. You approach railway, look, some of these parts, me too, I can do it. Definitely, it will save us some foreign earnings, and the government will be very happy for the fact that it has local content.
So for the ministry, there's a collaboration, there's a partnership. For example, we, of course, oftentimes get proposals. We get initiatives from, Nigerian Society of Engineers. And to interest you, I'm also a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers. I'm also a national ESCO of Nigerian Institute of Environmental Engineers. So there's a sync, with what we do. Oftentimes, we ask for their inputs, we request for their inputs, and they also give their inputs. And it's a collaboration of ideas of what best practice in order to achieve an efficient, railway transportation in Lagos and other modes of transportation in Lagos. The government needs to formulate more policies, both at the federal and state level, that will enhance railway transportation. The government needs to expend more resources, in the infrastructure necessary for railway development. The government also needs to explore both local and foreign means of getting funds, loans, grants for the enhancement of our railway system. And at the same time, there is need for capacity building in order to have qualified Nigerians to drive our railway system. The private sector will be very much interested, it's very much useful in being operators of this railway system as is done in foreign climes. The government provides the infrastructure, and it is now ceded to or concession rather, the appropriate word, to private sectors to drive it. They come in with their expertise in management, especially of the affairs in administration, in funding, and in operations. And they make use of this infrastructure, and there's a kind of MOU with the state, so that the equity of the state is compensated, and the private sector operates the rail system. So the most important thing is for them to come in as operators, because the government has expended a lot of huge funds in providing the infrastructure. So in that kind of PPP arrangement, public-private partnership arrangement, the private sector can really do much in contributing to the success of the railway system in Nigeria.
And that has been the show on this edition of the Lagos Transportation Agenda. LTA will return next week at this time on this station for yet another interesting discourse on the critical and innovative and dynamic world of transportation. Until then, my name is Austin Inyang, your host, saying have a nice week ahead. Bye-bye.